Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota, and I'm here to bring you my live paper crafting class. It's been a couple weeks. I have missed you guys. It's been fun to read your comments coming in from the YouTube live audience. So fun, so fun. Yes, I'm sharing a seasonal type of project today as far as the papers and the product goes. But the project itself, which is a fun fold card, can be done with other products. So fear not. Even if you're not in the fall area, where autumn leaves are starting to change colors, maybe you're on the southern hemisphere and you're in spring right now, it's okay. You can apply these to other products. Hello! It's so good to see your names roll in and you're telling me where you're from. Oh, thank you, Michelle. She said she missed me. I missed you guys so much. So it is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, as I'm coming to you live, 11 a.m. Central Time. If you're watching at a different time, like after the noon hour on this day, you're probably watching the recording, but feel free to comment afterwards. We don't need to just comment during the live. I invite you also to like and subscribe if you would be so kind. Thank you. And if this is your first live, hey, wait, I'm glad you came. Yay. So awesome. I hope that you have fun and you enjoy what you see and you come back for future lives. In this video, we are going to create a hidden, what did I call it? A hidden scenery Z-fold card. Now it doesn't have to be scenery on the designer paper because we're going to take designer paper that has a scene in it and we're going to hide it, we're going to tuck it so that you don't really notice it, because on a normal Z-fold card, when you create the fold and you take it out of the envelope, it kind of pops open, right? Well, this one's going to have like a little security to it. It's going to have like a little locking type of mechanism so that it stays in place. And you have to kind of give the card a bend to see the whole scene. Ooh, Holland, Michigan. Awesome. From Arkansas. You guys, this is great. So fun to read like the weather and where you're from. We're going to be using the All About Autumn suite of products. Now, if you live in the US, right now you're experiencing some sadness because this suite keeps on depleting. Like, people are loving it and it's getting bought up. We had a little short stint of time where the designer paper that I'm going to share today was available again, and then boom, it went into a currently unavailable situation again. But you can always like save the video link and come back to it later. You can print off the PDF, which I'm going to share, come back to the project later if you want to make the cards exactly as I'm sharing. Okay? Oh, thanks, Donna. Okay, so let's go to introducing our moderators. We have Trisha Josephs on YouTube. She would raise her hand if we were in an actual classroom, but she's there. Hi, Trisha. And we have Lisa Marshall on Facebook, and they are helping me with my live. They help me with my lives pretty much every week. They're there to answer questions because I can't possibly catch all the live comments as they roll through. I definitely miss questions here and there, and that's what they are here for, to be my voice for you. So please give them a warm welcome. Reach out to them if you have a pressing question during the live. And if you're watching live, you can log into your YouTube or Google account and comment as the live's going on, or you can wait till the live is over and comment if you wish. On Facebook, you don't have to do much of anything, just comment away, have fun. We're going to have a prize drawing as well. So if you comment, you get entered into the prize drawing. We're going to share prizes at the end. Supplies and measurements time. Here we go. Let's open up my computer screen for you so that you can see. You can get kind of a glimpse of what I'm going to be sharing today too. So we have the card shown there. Again, a hidden scenery Z-fold. We have the measurements listed there. We have the supplies listed there. Everything you need if you wanted to make the cards as I'm sharing today. I have 7 different versions of this card because I couldn't stop. The papers are gorgeous. What do I want to point out? There are some 1/8 inch measurements, but that's the most precise we're going to get today. We are going to do some heat embossing and we're going to do some die cutting for this card. But again, the fold, if you get the idea of the fold, you can apply it to lots of different things. I am going to mention that the Post-it tape and the precision tip bottle listed at the end, those are products that you can't get through Stampin' Up, but I do have a link on my website where you can go to see my favorite extras. So you go to the shop tab and then you just click on my favorite extras and you'll be able to see all the things that are non-Stampin' Up that I use in my craft room to organize, that I use for my business, that I use for my creations, okay? Alrighty, so let's take those things off the screen. Let's go down to the desktop and take a peek at this suite. We're looking at the September through December mini catalog for 2023 on pages 42 and 43. So here you can see lots of beautiful samples made with that suite. Let me zoom in just a bit so you can see. Gorgeous stuff, right? You can see this here is paper. It looks like a photograph. We're going to be using paper like this in our second card. This paper is used on some of the samples. We're using this paper, this pinkish with the copper foiling on it for, and this sweater type of paper. We're going to be using that for the cards as well. We're pretty much using a ton of this paper. Here are the products that are in this suite. You can see there's a stamp set and some coordinating dies, some embellishments, ribbon and embossing folder, and then two different sets of paper. This is the designer paper and this is the specialty paper. It's called oxidized copper specialty paper. Very fun name. This paper, these ribbons and these embellishments are in the US currently unavailable. But again, just keep on checking back in the online store and you'll be able to get them eventually. They all have different dates of when they're going to be available. You can reach out to your demonstrator or contact myself. I will try to remember to share towards the end of the video when those products are expected to be available. They change kind of weekly sometimes. Shipments don't always come in when expected, and they say the week of. Let's take out some of the papers because seriously, it used up pretty much the whole pack. These are my scraps that are left with the All About Autumn paper. We'll be using this one and this one. And then we'll also use this paper here. And I believe, yeah, this one here. So we're going to be using these for the cards that we're going to share. I'm going to start with this one. Also, let's just take a peek at the other products close up. Here are the beautiful ribbons. They come in a 2-pack. You can see that coppery foil looking ribbon, and then this one almost has kind of a greenish brownish tinge to it. It's very pretty, very gorgeous, rich, burlappy kind of look to it. And then there's an embossing folder. This is the distressed tile. We won't be using the ribbons or the embossing folder in the project today, but we'll be using all the other stuff. Here is the oxidized copper paper. We'll just pull a little bit of this out of here so you can see it better. So we have the copper color and we have the pretty peacock color. The pretty peacock color isn't pretty peacock on the foil. It's got copperish colors on the foil, but you can see that bluish green. That is our pretty peacock color. And then we have the embellishments, and these are those little doodads, and they are called speckled dots. So they have tiny little metallic speckles in them. They're so cool, and they're in old olive, copper clay. Oh, I forget. Let's look at the designer paper and see. Copper clay. Then we also have the very vanilla, I believe that would be, and the moody mauve. Let me take a peek at the catalog. The catalog will tell us. I put it behind me. Hang on. Let's go back to page 42. Let's see if I was right. Where are they? Oh, crumb cake. Crumb cake. Mossy meadow, not old olive. But it looks kind of old olivey, so if you wanted to use it with old olive, you can. And then I got the other two colors right. Yay. And then the, of course, the stamps and dies. Can't miss those. Those are like the king and queen, or whatever you want to call it, of the suite. Although sometimes designer paper, like this pack here, really really shines through, right, as one of the favorites. But here we have the stamps and here we have the dies. And you can see that the stamp images can get die cut with the outline or the frame type of dies. We also have a couple dies in here, and let me take this out of the plastic, that can be used for sentiment framing. So this one here, this one, and then you have some, oops, and this one here. And then we also have this die and this die that makes these little tiny dots in your paper, very fun. And these standalone dies, which we'll be using today. And those will create, obviously, some leaves with some little marks in them to make them look even more leafy. Okay, so let's start by grabbing a couple of our stamps and getting them ready. I always like to let my stamps relax before I put them on my blocks. I put them so that the stamp side is down. Once they've relaxed, especially a longer stamp, then you pick it up like that, and it is nice and straight, or the way it was intended, and it's ready to go. So we have all of our stamps mounted that we'll be using. We'll set those aside, and we'll grab our trimmer. Time to cut. For those of you that are beginning crafters or you haven't been to my online classes before, I always try to do the basic cut of the card base at the beginning so that you feel comfortable. If you are an avid or casual crafter, hopefully the things that I share with you will appeal to you as well. We have our cardstock that is 11 inches in this direction. We're going to cut it in half at 5.5 inches. So I've brought it to this mark here. Now I'm going to take and rotate it and score halfway in this direction. So half of 8.5 is 4.25. So we're going to use the light blade and we're going to press and score. We're also going to make an extra score mark in here because this card needs to have a Z-fold, right? So halfway between 4.25 and 0 is 2 1/8. So we want to score it again at this midway mark so that when we do our fold like this to make our Z, we have this piece folded over onto itself like that. So it's scored in the middle here. So that is our basic Z fold. I'm going to use a bone folder soon to make sure that those creases are nice and crisp. So that's our basic. We also need to have another piece though. So what I was doing to create this card in the beginning is I said to myself, hey Lori, I'm glad you're watching live too. I love your exclamation mark. Yes, the papers are gorgeous. So this paper, when I opened it up, I said I have to show a card that shows off that paper. And I've done scenery Z-folds before. I've done cards that overlap each other so that you can see the full, effect of these beautiful 6x6 papers. But this one I thought, no, let's just cut it into 2-inch strips and do the basic Z-fold. So I went ahead and I did that. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So I cut it down just a little less than 5.5, so I'd have a border at the top and bottom, and of course on the sides. And if my panel here is 2 1/8 inches, I could easily fit 2-inch panels of this in those spots. So I cut it into thirds. 6 inches divided into 3 pieces is 2, 2, and 2, right? So this piece will fit on here with a black border all the way around, a nice thin black border. This piece will fit on here, and this piece will fit on here. And when you open it up, you have that full scene of your card. So let's go ahead and just add those pieces. We're going to grab our precision tip bottle, pull off the excess glue at the top, and we'll start gluing them. So yeah, I was playing around with these and I said, oh, these would be so beautiful in a fun fold card. So I started to create this, and then I got stuck because what's going to happen here, you're going to see, is I'm just folding this so you can see the edges here better. So what happens, sorry, trying to get this straight. I have a hand injury, you guys. I think I dislocated my tendon on the top of my hand. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll get back to that story if I remember. Okay, let's keep going here. So yeah, I folded that so that you can see the real thin edge of black Let's do it like this now. I think because the black cardstock is so dark, unless I'm getting really close to it, it's hard to see. Let's just do a crease with our bone folder to make sure we're in the right spot. Oh yeah, that looks good, right? Okay, and then we might as well crease it again here because I forgot to do that. I said I was going to and I completely forgot. Let's add this one. All right. So I have to remember to tell you about what things? The knuckle story, the tendon or whatever, and what else? There was something else I told you I would tell you about. I forgot. Anyways, the knuckle one I'll remember too because it hurts a little bit. So, okay, so I came up with this. And I said, wait a minute. If I put a panel here, let's just grab a neutral piece of cardstock. If I put a panel here, it's really like, what's the point of opening the card except to see the beautiful scenery, right? So I got smart and got creative. So then I cut another piece. And this piece is 3 inches wide by 5.5 inches. And then we're going to score that in half at 2 3/4 inches. So I cut that just from the other half of my cardstock at the top. And here is this piece. And watch. That is going to hold this in place so it doesn't open up. And I have a spot for my sentiment so that you don't see the sentiment, the inside sentiment right away. You see the front of a card, okay? So then I just needed to decorate this up a bit. So let's do some stamping and embossing. Have you done heat embossing before? It is so fun. So we're going to take and ink up our stamps. We're going to use two of them are going to get embossed, and another one, which you can see it's stained already, is going to get stamped with my black ink. So we will stamp this onto a scrap of basic black cardstock that is big enough to take our punch. And I'm going to stamp this one. So this one says today and every day, and the other one says autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. I have to remind myself of that daily as I age. Things like that just bug me. All right, so heat embossing is taking your powder and adding it to sticky ink. So we just did Versamark ink on the black cardstock. I'm going to take and dump this over the top, and I'll tap it back into here. If you do not have containers like this or spoons like that or whatever, and you're starting off with your basic embossing powders like this Embossing Additions toolkit is excellent. So you can take and pour it onto here over the tray. So let's just pretend I do not have my cute little Tupperware container. So you pour it onto there, and then you can take and grab this and you open this at the end, and you take and open up your embossing powder little container. I don't have a white one with me because I threw it away. Then you take the brush and you brush it down back into the container. It's so cool. Give it a couple taps and you've cleaned up your embossing powder mess. Just had to show that to you. This is also a great tool that comes with it, and the tweezers. We're going to use the tweezers right now. It's the kind where you push it to open it, and then you grab your paper and you let go, and you can hold it freely without a lot of like muscle or gripping or the use of needing tendons. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our heat tool now. Oh my goodness sakes. Plugging it in because I forgot to do that before we started. And you're just going to heat it. You're going to turn it on to high. There's 2 levels there. Let's go to the 2. And just let it run for a bit so that this gets heated. Making sure that that heat is not being aimed at anything that could get damaged by the heat. So then you just kind of wiggle back and forth. And you can see the cardstock starts to curl a little bit. You can go underneath and kind of give it a curl the other direction if you want to. But you just wiggle it, and you can already see it start to change. Can you see that? There we go. Pretty cool, right? Beautiful. Love it. And then we'll just do this side. And I love that this tweezers is not metal, so the heat does not conduct. I don't think I got that hot enough. There we go. And then you just shut it off. Give it a little bit of wiggling so that it's not really hot when you touch it, and take your tweezers off. Pretty cool. Now, one thing I forgot to do, because I don't have like oily hands. I'm one of those people that has very, very dry skin. So I don't get in the habit of using this much. If you have fingerprints that easily get on your cardstock, it can pick up the embossing powder. So you would want to rub this on the top of your cardstock to get rid of any oils or moisture. And then you want to do your stamping, powder, and heating. Okay? All right. Oh, a lot of you are talking about tendon injuries. Okay, I have to tell you what I did then. Let's grab our punch, open it up, turn it upside down. So I was at the band show last weekend. I'm volunteering for all the weekends unless this proves to be something I can't do. Punch that out. And then we'll bring in, I don't want to tell my story while I'm doing this, you guys. This is just, I got to give instruction. Okay, so I'm at the band show, and I already told them I can't do a pushing job or a lifting job because I have this foot injury, which some of you know about. It's called a Morton's neuroma, and it flares up if I put too much weight on my body. So, so I had to do the job of sitting on the drum set cart. I'm holding the drum set cart, and I'm stretching my arms and my legs to grab everything that I can so that as they're wheeling it onto the field, nothing falls off the cart. So I'm trying to hold a whole drum set in place and microphones and cords and blah, 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 right? Easy job, not weight bearing, not a lot of muscle needed. I stretched my hand to grab two things at once, a cymbal and the microphone, and I felt, and I even heard, I think, this pop. And boom, my knuckle is just all red and swollen. Aging. Okay, I've got my platform set up here. I'm going to grab that die from the, so I have a, I thought it was something else, but the more I've researched, the more I've figured out what I think it is, and I'm going to get it diagnosed today. I'm going to go to the orthopedic care, urgent care, and confirm. Where did my Post-it notes go? Oh, here, we're using this instead. We're going to use Post-it tape. So yeah, any advice that you want to send my way would be welcome, but I believe I might have to have like a minor surgery to fix it. I don't know. I'm scaring myself. Okay, so we're going to stick that over the top so that it is holding our die in place, and we're going to do a little bit of cutting with our mini machine. I don't bring this out very much, but this mini machine would work with these dies, you guys. It is mini machine compatible. So I am cranking it through, plus the bigger machine hurts my knuckle area right now. I can't use it. I can't even lift it. Okay, so there's that. And we have our little piece that we needed. So we have a die cut piece, and we have a punched piece with our 1 3/4 inch circle. We're going to tidy this up by sticking it on my catch-all table. I've already pre-cut the leaves that we need. Actually, Teresa did. Thank you, Teresa. Teresa, my assistant, helped me out with these cards yesterday. I love her. Okay, so there's a leaf, and then I got another leaf here, and these are all cut from the, or except for this one. These two are cut from the oxidized copper specialty paper, which is this stuff here. Okay, this one was cut from one of the designer paper pieces, because some of those designer paper pieces, as we saw, excuse my reach here, have like a foiling on the back side. Okay, oh, now we're super close. So let's start decorating. For the autumn teaches us that everything, every blah, blah, blah change is beautiful. Yeah, that thing, we're going to put it up on dimensionals. But let's make sure that this stays closed as much as possible. So we're not only going to fold it in that direction with the bone folder, but we're going to break those fibers a bit more in that crease line and just go back and forth a bit. And that'll help make that opening a little bit shallower. Do you see that? It's not as wide as it was before. It's shallower. This piece gets stamped and put on the inside. We'll do that. Stamping with a grateful heart. Center that. Looking at the width A, because that has to be parallel to the top and the bottom of the layer here. And that layer is just slightly smaller. It's 2 7/8 by 2 5/8. That will go on the inside of the card. So we'll use our multi-purpose liquid glue again. I put it in this precision bottle. This is what that glue normally looks like. Love that glue. It's great because it doesn't bond right away, but it bonds quickly. So you have some wiggle room. See, I'm still moving it. And I get it right in the place that I want, and then I can press it, and within like seconds, it won't be movable. I have this cute little holder for my my multi-purpose liquid glue. Have you seen these, you guys? This is from the Country Hive. They have a little pumpkin Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue holder now available to purchase. So cute. thecountryhive.com. Okay, then this piece just gets glued on. So we'll add a little bit of glue to the back side here. Lift it up. We could use our tweezers if we wanted to. And that just gets taped down, glued down right there. Oops, see, wiggle room. And now the front gets this, and I'm going to put the dimensionals into the middle because I want to tuck some leaves. So if I have them on the outer edges, I might risk my leaf not being able to tuck underneath. So we'll put the dimensionals towards the middle, have a good base by using 3 of them, and then we'll stick this on the front off to the left. Looking at the words teaches us that change can be, because those are the words that are straight and would be parallel with the top and the bottom edge of the card, like that. Okay, so now I have room to tuck, and we curled this leaf already, so I don't need to do that. I'll just put some glue in the back in the middle here, and that'll get stuck right about there. This one, let's go ahead and fold that one a bit. You can even curl it going in that direction a little bit if you want to. And add that one. I'm just putting the adhesive in the middle area. That one can get glued right about there. And then the last one we'll have just kind of lift it up like that. Bone folders are awesome for creasing your paper. They're also great for curling your paper. So now we have 3 beautiful leaves on the front of our mini card, and our mini card gets attached to this. But I thought that was just way too much black, right? Just way too much black. So let's bring in, and I want to make sure I'm adding the right one. Hang on. Let's bring in this piece. So this piece is already cut to the same size, I believe. Yes, it is. So we'll just glue that down. This is the back side of the close-up of the books. There's really cool papers in this pack, you guys. There's like old book-looking books on a bookshelf, and then close-up of the books. I think this is cut a little too short. Let me look. Or maybe, oh, no, that was right. I just had this paper in really far. That's okay. It's okay to have that gap. Because this is the scene, this is the decoration, and it's okay if we have a little bit wider gap there. But that was probably my issue, is I probably brought that in too close. Okay, then when you put this on, if you stick it all the way down, it's kind of too close. So instead, I'm going to lift it up a little bit with dimensionals on this side. I just felt like it didn't lay right if I put it down directly. But the problem is I can't put dimensionals all over this backside, or then I can't write on the inside of my card. So I'm only sticking them at the top. So again, this is the Hidden Scenery Z-fold card. So at the top, back right area. And I'm going to line that black edge up with the black edge of my card base and tack it down. I also don't want my dimensionals to go all the way to the center, because then you're going to have to really bend this card back in order to separate these. At this point, you can see there's a little bit of a gap, so it's easier to pull that card open and shut like that. And if you want to, you remember how we did kind of that breaking the fiber thing with the mini card portion of it? You could do that with these folds as well, and that will make the card even more flexible and pliable. So there is our Autumn Teaches That Change Can Be beautiful first card. The second card uses this paper, and I don't need to demonstrate the whole thing, but you can choose where you want to cut it, because there's always going to be a little bit of excess coming off the bottom. And if you like the excess coming off the bottom, that could be something that you cut your leaf, your little tiny leaf with. But don't throw these away, because all of those little excess pieces, I know I'm going to use somewhere else, right? So those are fun to keep. The one that I paired up with this was this pretty paper here, because you can see some of the pinks in there, so the mauve and then the copper foil. So that's on the back side of this one, and because I wanted to use up all of my pack of paper of scenery cards, I avoided cutting into the ones that had scenes, right? So I only had like these kinds of papers left to choose from, but I had the fronts and the backs, okay? When I didn't have a choice, then I brought in this paper. So you could bring back your oxidized paper, and that could be the excess paper on this side here. So let's take a look at the finished samples so you can see them all. Really fun stuff, you guys. So we have this one, and that opens up like that, as you probably would have guessed. So we have this one and this one. Let's just kind of lay them out, and let's spread out a little bit, zoom out a little bit so you can see a lot of them. You can see my messy desk too. Okay, so we have those, and let's see, put it right there. Will that work? Okay, then, oh, and you already saw that one. Then we have this one. So this is really a fun one too. I love those heirloom kind of pumpkins, the ones with, you know, different colors. And I used this peacock and copper foil design for the right side. So there's that one. Let's see, can we see them? Yeah, I'm gonna move these. Okay, next we have the bookcase, the books on the bookcase. So here's the far away scene. And then remember, we had that close-up scene as well. So that's over on this side here. These are so fun, you guys. I love them. I hope you're liking this fold. It was fun to come up with. Okay, and then there's this one here. And that is that beautiful scene. So sweater material with the leaves that are in this on the trees still. Let's tuck that up a little higher. And then we have this one. Now watch this. This is fun. Hi, Cindy. Isn't that cool? It's an aerial view. Looks like an aerial view of where my mom and dad live. They are in a forest area. Very pretty. Beautiful. Right? Okay, we'll stick that one up in that corner. Can you still see them all? All the options? Scoot that one just a little bit so you can still see both papers. Okay, and then we have this one, and this is good because we only have like one more spot where we can put a card because my head's in the way. So here is the other one, and that's using the oxidized paper over there. Thanks, Jennifer. They were so fun to make. You guys know that I love using black and white paper. Black paper as a base really does show off vibrant colors of your papers on your designer paper. When I used to be an elementary teacher, I heard, and it made sense because I was doing this already. I was putting black on the base of my bulletin boards. And one of my teacher friends said, that's wise because when you use black, everything stands out. So I kept using black no matter what. I never made my bulletin board base color any other color beyond that. It was always black. And boy, I had just vivid bulletin boards in my classroom. It was so fun. I want to share with you another product. This product is lost on my table, but I will find it. It is called clear envelopes. And a lot of you use clear envelopes. Let's see. I know they're here somewhere. A lot of you use clear envelopes for, just protecting your cards when you mail them. Yeah, I don't know where I put them. But you can, they're gone. Oh my gosh, Rachel. Seriously. They're going to show up. They will show up. They're probably, okay, anyways, clear envelopes. They're, if I find them, I will show you, but they're like this. They're like this, only bigger. And you can take your card, you can put it in there, and you can mail it. So it has the look of your card showing through as they get it in their mailbox. You can actually see the card. But what you'll want to do, where did those things go? That's just crazy. I just had them here. But what you'll want to do is you'll want to put it into your envelope so that the seam of your envelope, gosh, Rachel, I wish I could oh, they're over here. They were where they weren't supposed to be. Here's the seam of your envelope right here, okay? So you're going to stick, let's just do this one because it doesn't have a Post-it note on the back. You're going to stick your card in here like this. And you see the seam? This is where you're going to seal it. So you just pull this off and you seal it. But before you seal it, you're going to open this up. You're going to stick another piece of paper in here that is the same size as this, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's going to have your address and the address you're sending it to. Not the postage, just the addresses. Okay, that's where that goes. Then you seal up your envelope. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Seam goes on the other side. Seam goes on the other side. Seam goes on the side where your decoration is. And now I took the sticky thing off. Let's see. Can we maneuver it, Rachel? I have the sticky thing off on the other side. It's catching. Okay. Seam goes on this side because you want this to be clear and you don't want to have anything catch when it's going through. It's probably going to get hand canceled. So it needs to go through this way. So this is where your seam of your envelope is on this side. Your address is within, and then you put the postage on the outside. You're probably in the US going to need to do the non-machinable postage. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Non-machinable. Yes, it probably does add postage. It depends on your post office though. When I lived in another part of the Twin City area, they were never picky about it. But I would just put a non-machinable to be safe. And that way when the card comes in the mail, it's like, ooh, they already know what it looks like. It's so fun. And then of course you always have the option of the white envelopes. And I'll just grab one that's not open yet. So our white envelopes, as they fall on the floor, look like this. They look great. Those are the medium white envelopes. In fact, that is one of our prize options today. We have a couple envelope packs and we have embellishments. Before we have Trisha draw for the name of the prize winner from our commenters, though, we're going to pick the prize winners from last week's, actually 2 weeks ago, because 2 weeks ago was when I was last live. Last week, what was it? Was it the start of the school year? I think it was, because today is the 13th. Yes, it was the start of the school year. And it was so crazy. Plus, it was the release of the new mini catalog day, September 6th. So we've had that catalog with this stuff in there only live for a week. And this paper has sold out. It's so crazy. Wee! I love it, Livy. What else do I want to mention? Promotions before we do the prizes. We have other promotions. We have, let's just go to the computer really quick. I want to show you. I'm going to pull this up. Okay, let's go to, oops, don't click that, Rachel, click that. Get to see my messy desktop. Okay, so here is, or my computer. I have so many apps down here. So these are the products that are currently unavailable in the US. This paper, this ribbon, the adhesive dots, and even the copper oxidized stuff. But let's just go to the homepage of the store. I want to talk about some other things that are going on. Right now, you can sign up for a virtual event that is free for World Card Making Day, which is October 7th. So check it out. That is right wherever it went to. Here. So if you click on this, it'll take you to the page where you can actually register for it. It tells about the details. It tells you about product that you can buy. If we go back to this, the next thing that comes up is special release paper. We have some online exclusives that have been added. 5 packs of designer paper, a specialty paper, have been added that you can choose from. In fact, they're listed right here in the front. You can see all the different design choices. This one's stunning. Then you have adhesive back glimmer paper. How nice is that? We also have, if we go back to the front and we click these arrows, we have, and I'm going to go a little further, we have a new kit. It's a new kit in the kits collection. And that one you saw kind of a little glimpse of in that other space there. It's the Christmas Everywhere kit. So if you want to make some fun cards. So those are some new stuff besides the mini catalog being live. Now if we go back a couple, do you see this? It's called Project Give Back or Making a Difference. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Go there again. Oh, Rachel. I need an assistant here. There we go. Making a Difference. Product Give Back. If you were to purchase a certain pack of designer paper, it is called A Walk in the Forest. $3 for every pack purchased will go towards the service that they're doing in that area. So it depends on your area. And ours is, I believe in the US, is it, I forgot now. I don't want to say. I'm not going to say. It's in my blog. It's on my blog page. You can visit my blog and scroll down to the promotions and it'll say there, but I totally forgot. And I think that's it as far as news goes and promotions. Tell me if I'm missing something. Let's go to prize winners, okay? So I'm going to bring you back out of here for just a minute so I can set that up. Okay, so we have winners from last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, that were drawn from the After Live comments, and I'm going to announce them right now. So let's go over to the computer, and our Facebook winner is Sandy Megan Stubbers. Congratulations, Sandy. Reach out to me at my email address, which is shown there, stampyourartout@comcast.net, so that you can claim your prize. Your prize is basically a choice between things that have not been claimed. So you need to reach out to me first, and then I can give you kind of an example, a list of things that I have, because it changes, every few days. And then our winner on YouTube is Mert D. So Mert, reach out to me also. Same prize. You get to pick from past thingies, okay? Things that haven't been claimed. And now let's look to see. Oh, there it is, Trisha. Good job. Trisha has drawn the names of Bling Bling Crafter and Beth Mills. You are the winners for today's prize. And again, it was the envelope pack, right? I shared that with you already, the envelope pack. And then I think I forgot to share the other part, or did I? You get a choice of some embellishment packs that I have. So just say, what do you have? And I'll tell you, okay? Actually, I could probably show them to you right now. I'll just show them real quickly. And woohoo! Congratulations! Yes! All right, so here we go. We have a couple packs of the brush brass butterflies. We have the red rhinestone jewels. We have iridescent gems, the pearls. We have a couple of these. These are the tinsel gems packs. And then we have iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. So winners that we just announced through Trisha, that's what you have to choose from. I hope that you enjoyed those. Next week, I'm going to be live again, and that will be September 20th. So I hope that you come back and visit me. Again, if you can click the like button, if you can share, if you can subscribe if you haven't yet, I really appreciate all that stuff. It keeps me going in my business if you can help me out that way. Next week, 11 a.m. Central Time on September 20th, which is a Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to let you go now. Big thank you to Trisha and to Lisa, our moderators, and I hope that you had fun. I'll let you all go. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye, everyone.